Good evening, everybody. Welcome to FTB post-match review for LFC versus Arsenal. I'm Stitches. Um, we've had a mini break. There's been international games. Players have flown around the world. Extra training has been done. Teams have been rested, and we're off to the races once again for the final furlong of the Premiership title race. It's going to be an interesting period, but straight away, I am joined by my able teammates and colleagues on this show. I've got Pato with me. Pato, how are you?
Hello everyone. Hello Stitches, hello Stony, hello everyone around the globe.
And yes, Stony, my brother, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you as well. Welcome back, Stitches. Welcome back, Patel. Missed you guys, but we're back, which is good.
We are back. We are back indeed. Back again. Back in the building. And what a time to be back.
Friday.
On a Friday. Friday. We're hoping it'll be a good weekend. Yeah, we're hoping it'll be a good weekend. But look, we have to talk about what's upcoming. We've got a wonderful set of fixtures which we're about to embark on. There's all to play for. Our season is still good to go. And this is it now. We're up against the old enemy, Arsenal. I didn't get a chance to catch the Arsenal show. You can catch it on our FTB channel, the preview from the Arsenal side of things. It'll be interesting to see what their opinions were on the game. I know there's been a bit of banter flying around in our WhatsApp groups. And I think some of them are feeling super confident, which would be interesting because in the reaction show, we'll hope to do it conjointly and have a couple of them on the show to talk about what their thoughts were, because there's been a lot of chest beating, a lot of people been talking with bass in their voice all of a sudden. And someone's going to be eating the humble pie, and I'm sincerely hopeful that it won't be us. And I'm confident it won't be us. So look, without further ado, let's get into what we do, guys. Let's take a look at the game. Let's think about what condition we think the team's going to be in. Let's predict what our starting lineup's going to be. Let's talk about the danger men from the Arsenal side. Let's talk about what we expect to see from them. And then we'll finish it all off with a quick prediction round. So without further ado, Stoney, what's your kind of summary? Or let's start with Pato, actually, because we're gentlemen on this show. We are. Let's start with Pato. What is your thoughts been about the break? What do we, what condition are we coming back into, and what are your thoughts generally?
I feel the team are going to be pretty fit. I'm not worried about Curtis Jones. He was the only name I mentioned on the last show. And look what happened.
Yeah.
We still don't fully know what happened, but at the end of the day, he's going to stick up for himself, of course. And it's a very hostile country, that he went to anyway. Well, a country he was playing that. But yeah, I'm happy with all the team who've come back. Everybody seems fit and healthy. No injuries, injury-free, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no rumours or any information about injuries, so we'll have to take that as a positive.
Can't say the same for Arsenal.
Really, have they had injuries? I've not really been paying much attention to them.
It's a couple of players not good that may not be playing. He's been a little bit cagey, hasn't he, Arteta?
Okay.
In his interview, if is Saka playing, is who's the other one? Isn't he 3 players he's saying that may not be playing?
I think you're right. That's probably a little bit of brinkmanship from Arteta as well.
Well, exactly. We don't know if he's just playing the little game.
Yeah. I think for Liverpool, I think the international break came at the right time. I think if any of our players did have any light knocks, then I think it was a good time just for them to regroup. We know that our squad have been decorated with a lot of international players as well. And as you said, any of those that did go away on the international break, hopefully they've come back, they're rested, and we'll be ready for Arsenal on Sunday. So I mean on Saturday. So yeah, let's look. It is what it is. As you said, I'm glad we had the break. I'm glad we're back. And yeah, let's get back to supporting Liverpool.
Absolutely. From my perspective, I think that it was a good time to take a breath. I think a few players were coming back in fresh from recovering from injuries. Jota the shotter, who's looked in fine fettle with his international, scoring 2 with his head, which is quite impressive for a man of his stature. Which was brilliant. We've had players like Fabinho, who is back in that midfield berth. But for me, most importantly, having more time to work on that defensive structure within the team. Yeah. Phillips having more time to be coached under Klopp. A good opportunity for Klopp to look at some of the youngsters coming through and having them train up with the first team players that remained. And the players that went away on the international seem to have done pretty well for their country. So all in all, positive, international break. And I think the key thing is what Pato touched on earlier when she mentioned that people have come back without injuries, which for us, that's a win this season, given everything that's gone on. So look, with that in mind, with that being said, Pato, what do you think what the starting lineup is likely to be?
For us?
Yeah.
Okay, for us, I think obviously Alisson in goal.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Robbo, Kabak, and Nat Phillips. Also, Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's the back 4. Okay, so bear with me on this one because I've been thinking about this. Okay, because Fabinho's back, and also, he's had a couple of games now when he's stretched his legs. Let's say, so I'm going to go for. I'm going to call it as a 4-3-2-1. Yeah,
3.
But with 3 in the middle, I want Fabinho to sort of sit back a little bit behind the line with the defenders. Yeah. And I want so in my midfield 3 is Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and Thiago. Okay, and I want Wijnaldum and Thiago to be
advanced,
above the line. Yeah. And then in mid 2 was obviously Mane and Salah and Jota up front. As you've said, he was fantastic with Portugal, and he got 2 good goals. And also, didn't he score in the last game against Arsenal?
Yeah,
he did.
Didn't he come on and score?
Yeah, he did.
So he's wanting to. He's on form at the minute. He's on fire. He's wanting to play. His skills are really, really exciting to be watching. He's a player to be watching at the minute. So he's okay up front on his own. But as I said about Fabinho, just sitting back a bit so we can still help our defenders out a bit, because we do have to watch a couple of the Arsenal players, obviously. So not much, there is a couple we do have to watch. So I think he could sort of still help them if he's behind the line. But also, there's room in the middle for him to run through if he needs to run through, and can assist with Salah and Mane and even Jota. Sitting back, he can also feed balls to Jota if need be. Do you know what I mean? Him being there sort of central with our other 2 midfielders, Wijnaldum and Thiago, them sitting there. If he can find a space and get to the front, sit back. I think Fabinho's at the stage where he needs to be showing us how great he is. I want to see how great he is. And I'm hoping tomorrow is the day that he shows me.
What about yourself, Stoney?
I think the lineup that Pato's obviously spoken about, I think sounds really good as well. So with Fabinho returned back to the middle of the park, and he said it's almost as if Gigi and Thiago will play as two number eights either side of Fabinho playing the number 6. I think it's a good call with Jota being up there. I mean, obviously, you know, we still love Bobby, but it's probably about playing players in form. So yeah, I'd definitely go for that. Straight lineup, exactly what you said. Allison in goal, normal fullbacks with Robbo, Trent the other side, and just keep Kabak and Nat Phillips there. So yeah, wouldn't
Okay.
really make any adjustment on that. I know I keep calling for the 4-2-3-1. I don't think Klopp's actually tuned into the show yet, but that's why he gets paid all of the money and I don't. So
Yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, the
So
4-3-3 sounds really nice there.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like that formation, but I'm gonna be a bit left field here. So
perfect.
it being coming back from an international break.
Mm,
So first of all, yeah, I think Fabinho starts in the holding role. I agree
yeah,
with you in terms of the selection and the defense for Pato. I think Fabinho does start in the holding role. I think we're a totally different proposition when he does. I think on top of that, I think where you might see some differences is in the selection in midfield. I have a feeling that Naby Keita starts,
okay.
right? And I also have a feeling that Alex Chamberlain
Mm,
starts. And I'll tell
okay.
you why for, because I've
Yeah,
got this thing where I think Klopp likes to select players that he's been able to work with during the international breaks
right.
and slowly bring back in the
Mm,
players that have been on international duty. So I think that that might affect his selection, which also makes me say that I believe that Jota won't start
mm,
and he will start with Firmino, because Firmino has been training since being back from injury with Klopp rather than being on international duty. So I think that you're going to be surprised a little bit by the selection. I think obviously those players will be available to come off the bench and
mm,
influence the game. But I think seeing that they've been away and not trained, and I reckon Klopp's been working on something over the period, and
okay.
also the fact that we've got a few days later we're playing Real Madrid.
Good. Yeah.
There'll be that in mind as well in terms of not rushing people back into the shape and into the squad. So yeah, so I think that the midfield might not be what we see traditionally. I think yeah, you'll get Fabinho in there, but I think Naby Keita may get an opportunity to start, and I think also Alex Oxlade will get an
Mm,
opportunity as well.
against
And
his old
that might,
team.
yeah,
Regarding
that.
what you've just said, though, Stitches, if
Mhm.
anyone had been worrying about resting, it'd be Salah, because Jurgen wasn't happy that they played him for the full 90 minutes, didn't they? And they didn't have to.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
They didn't have
absolutely,
to. And they played him for
yeah,
the full 90, and he was absolutely fuming about that. So if anyone who needs the rest, it's probably
yeah.
Salah.
And that, you may well be right, because I think that you may see a strange one where Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain actually plays in the forward line,
Mm,
and he brings someone else into midfield.
mm,
As a result, he might play Curtis Jones or someone like that. So you know, I just think it won't be a straightforward selection. I think there's a few surprises to be held in there, because we're in this last 10 game run now. We can't really
yeah.
afford to drop any more points if we
Mm,
want to make a real challenge for the top four. And I still don't think top four is out of sight. I've made bold predictions on this show, and I'm not going to change. I still think the league finishes City top, Chelsea second, Man United third, and us fourth.
mm.
So on
That's
I
that
how
mean,
I.
basis, we need to win tomorrow, Stitches. We
yeah,
have
Yeah,
to win,
100%.
so we have to play a
One
decent
hundred percent.
side, a strong
Yeah.
side, a strong team to win tomorrow.
I
You
mean,
know,
but I
I
we're
mean,
believe.
not the fastest teams, but we can do this. We always have a good, in fact, the highest scored and the most goals of ever in the Prem is between Liverpool and Arsenal.
yeah, I was just
I
about to say
The
that.
highest
This,
scored hat tricks, the most hat
yeah,
tricks are in the fixture of Liverpool and Arsenal.
yeah, this fixture, even if you look back, I'm not going to say that I know all of the results or all of the fixtures that we've had with Arsenal over the last year or 2 years, but
Well,
this
2 years
fixture,
ago, Stoney, we won them 5-1, love.
Yeah, you're right. So I mean, even if playing against Arsenal, whether it's at Anfield or whether it's down at the Emirates, this fixture always guarantees goals. Or always guarantees goals. I know it was the Carling Cup and the what was it we played in? Was it the last game? I know it was the EFL Cup. We played at them in October, and what was that, 5-4? When they were down at us in September, I think it was 3-1. And this fixture, when you go back over the years, it's guaranteed goals.
Yeah.
So I do not expect this to be a 0-0. There's going to be goals flying in either way. So and it just makes
famous last words.
Yeah, it's going to make it for really.
Scored. Mane loves London. Mane scored how many goals? Is it 7?
And it's going to make it for an entertaining game as well.
He loves scoring in London. I can see Mane scoring. I can see Jota scoring.
Yeah,
there's 2 definites I can see scoring.
It's going to be an entertaining game.
When they played West Ham, okay, they come back from a 3-0. They're getting beat 3-0. But let's get something nice. And, everyone's giving Arsenal loads of respect about that game. There were 2 own goals. Yeah. West Ham helped them draw. West Ham, they did. The only one who scored for Arsenal was Lacazette.
Yeah.
The other 2 goals were own goals.
Yeah, it's true. But going back to what you were saying as well, Stitches, about in terms of how important this game is. So what if we were to win this game? So what? We've played 29 games, aren't we? So Chelsea are in 4th. They play the same amount of games, and I think they're 5 points ahead of us. So you're right. I mean, 5 or 6. I think. What are we on? We're on 40. We're on 46 points. They're on
46.
What's my math? 51. They're 5 points ahead of us. 5 points ahead of us. So you're right. I mean, anything's still possible. And Chelsea are sitting in 4th position. I understand West Ham are in front of us. I also understand that Everton have also got a game in hand on us as well, because I think we're on 29 games, they're on 28. But it's still possible to reach 4th place. It's still possible. I mean, we've got Arsenal, and then the next fixture we've got Aston Villa. So look, anything's actually possible. I think it's gonna be a good game. Lots of goals. Liverpool win, obviously, and we just crack on. Definitely crack on.
So,
and Stitches, can I just ask you something?
Go for it.
Is Florin your cousin or relation or?
Potentially. So I have a massive family. My granddad had 7 wives, being the chief of a tribe. So it could well be some branch of the family. My surname is not common without someone being related somewhere down the line. I don't know him personally.
I know, but I can see a resemblance.
Yeah. So he's related, but the only person of that surname that you need to look out for is Jaden Ray. In 2027, he'll be there doing his film. That's his mission.
Definitely.
That's his mission.
Nice.
But just to just come back to what you're saying, Pato, I think that you're right. We will go for it, and we will win. But I believe that Klopp will select a team that he believes will be able to win. I don't see Oxlade-Chamberlain coming in as playing a weakened team. I just think that they would have worked on something for this game, and having that time, Klopp loves having that time to work with players to prepare. So I just think that it's hard to do that when players are all around the globe, and you work with what you've got. He'll have more time with the other players between now and the Real Madrid game. And I think I don't see it as a weakened team. I just think, it just means that we've got more to come off the bench and hurt them with. But I do think it's a must win. And I do think we will really go for it. It really depends what Arsenal turns up. I think Arteta will have a plan, but they're not going to try to come at us, because I think they would be scared of the threat that we carry on the counter, and our ability to counter press.
Well, Arteta's made out that he hasn't got a plan in his conference. He said he's going to see how we play, and he'll adapt.
Yeah, and I'm the Easter Bunny. And I'm the Easter Bunny, yeah?
You know?
Yeah. So look, let me just quickly go to our audience who are very important. We've got Bob Spurs TV, who is on with us today. As a Spurs fan, he says, I'd like to see a draw and West Brom win and Bournemouth 2 and Man City and Fulham 2. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt you would love the universe to align for you. But we're not here for that. But I love it. If you lose against Arsenal, are you likely to write the league off and concentrate on Champions League solely? I think yes. I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree with that statement. I think if we lose to Arsenal, Klopp is saying that it's going to be difficult for top four to be achieved. But I think realistically, he would start thinking about making a full-blown assault at the Champions League rather than, trying to focus on making top four after that, which is a shame. But with the start we've had to this year, we've got no choice, if we were to lose. But I don't even want to think about that because I don't see that happening. I think the worst result we could get against Arsenal tomorrow is a draw. I don't see us losing it. I genuinely don't. I just think that the lads have got so much to prove. I think there's been so much criticism. Their mentality's been questioned. A lot has been questioned, and anything that explains why this season's happened is being labelled as an excuse. And I think they're smarting, and they want to put the record right. So I back us to win, fully back us to win, and I think the result's going to be 2 or 3-0. I'll make my prediction now. 3-0. Okay. That's what I predict. We've got Kelly C here. Jota will score the winning goal. He'll be hungry to score. Yes, I hope so. He's in fine scoring form, though, really and truly. He's blistering in front of goal right now. I mean, to play in a Portuguese team that hosts, a wealth of stars like Cristiano Ronaldo and outscore Cristiano. Outscore Cristiano. Yeah. He outscored Cristiano, and that's really big. He's the main guy now, isn't he, for Portugal? Yeah. He's the main guy. So most definitely. Right, now let's have a look at Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal for a little bit. Pato, you mentioned that Arteta started the mind games already by suggesting that he's not going to prepare anything and he's going to just try and react, which for me is nonsense. But what do you see as the dangers that Arsenal will be bringing to the table? Who are their danger men? How do you see them trying to, attack us? Where do you see them potentially maybe having some joy, if they do?
I like that, Stitches. I like that. Okay, so again, because he was cagey in the interview, he was also cagey about who was playing, because he said about Sarkin and is it Saha? I don't know how to say that other one. But you've still got to worry about Lacazette, haven't you? You've always still got to worry about he is a scorer. However, I do feel that with the formation that we've all agreed on and talked about, what we could play tomorrow and potentially will be, I'm really, I really am hopeful of that. We, as you're saying, we will have a big score tomorrow. The dangers with Arsenal as well. Sweet Pig, I do worry about Sweet Pig. He is one to worry about. Because of course he will be playing again. He's not on fire either, is he?
No. Yeah. What about yourself, Stoney? Who do you see as the
danger man for Arsenal? I'm thinking of players that's currently in form for them. So it's Odegaard, right? I think he's coming on loan, and I think for Arsenal, obviously I'm not an Arsenal fan. If it's unfortunate that we didn't manage to have the Arsenal lads on with us today, but I think for an Arsenal fan, he's probably been a breath of fresh air for them. For someone who's actually so young, he's actually shown so much ownership and professionalism. I haven't seen him hide in absolutely no game for Arsenal yet. So I reckon Arsenal are going to play a 3-4-3 against us. I think they're going to play a 3-4-3 against us. Tierney, Holding, and David Luiz at the back. As
David
you said,
Luiz?
yeah, I think Arteta's still being a little bit coy on whether Saka or Smith Rowe are going to be available. I still think they're going to feature on the bench, but I think it's going to be Odegaard, Partey, Xhaka, and we'll just have to see who the other fourth midfielder is going to be. And up front, I think it's going to be Lacazette, Pepe, and Aubameyang. But I think they're going to play a 3-4-3 against us. Odegaard's going to be the main threat for them. I still actually like the way that Partey is actually playing for Arsenal at the moment. He's usually calm. He controls the game. And he's usually a nice little outlet for them. So yeah, 3-4-3. Liverpool still coming away victorious tomorrow, but Odegaard's going to be the danger person for Arsenal. That's
Sorry,
what I think will happen.
my formation was a 4-2-3-1 for Arsenal.
Okay.
I was playing a 4-2-3-1, and I've got Chambers in the back four for Arsenal because he's actually the one who helped them to win. I think he actually got man of the match in the West Ham game because he forced the own goals. That's how he helped Arsenal get to that draw. So I think on the basis of that, and he got man of the match.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be in the back four. So in my back four, I had Tierney, Gabriel, Holding, and Chambers.
fine.
And so that's me four. And in the two, I've got Eleni in case what's his name? Azaka, and Saka, Azaka. In case he doesn't play, I was going to put Eleni in along with Partey, but also, and then in the three I had Sweet Pea, and then Oscar Yard and Saka. But if he doesn't play, I was going with Nicolas Pepe, and then Lacazette up on his own up front. So mine's a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, so I actually agree with Pato's lineup 4-2-3-1. I think that they're not going to be brave enough to come at us and play 3-4-3. I think that leaves them far too open in wide positions, and I think that they won't do that. But before I kind of get into it a little bit more and I come back to it, I just want to give some time to our listeners and read out some of these comments for us to discuss. So we've got Bossman James logged on. Thank you, Bossman. Game is peak tomorrow for Arsenal. Clearly a Liverpool fan there, stating that the young boy Rowe is okay. Yes, very good player. It's going to be deep. Both teams have defensive frailties. Yeah, I think we did have, but I don't necessarily see that from our side this time around with Fabinho in midfield and the two centre-backs starting to form a partnership. Do you think because of the credit he has already in the bag, Klopp has maybe had it a tad bit easy with the media, or has it purely been down to injuries? That's an interesting question, and I think it really depends on your perspective and where you sit. I don't think he's had it easy from the media. I think that they've been asking him very ignorant questions, and they've been trying to get him to react. And he has on occasion, for obvious reasons, with everything that he was going through. And I think that I've said it on many of these shows. For me, the injuries have been the single biggest factor in why we're where we are now. And if anyone says it isn't, then I think they're just being stupid or they're kidding themselves. It's as simple as that. For me, that's the single biggest factor. So I don't know. What do you guys make of that question? Because that's a really good question, actually.
It is, and thank you. But what I will say is our media is horrible with everybody.
Yeah.
Our media is disgusting. And I feel sorry for every manager, player, and anyone who's in the public eye, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
I do believe you should have a private life. As long as you're not harming anybody. You are entitled to the private life, and there is overstepping the mark. And there is, as you said, there is stupid questions, and Jürgen's good at handling it. He knows how to handle himself. People learn how to, that's what their PR and PA people are for. Telling them, but Jürgen doesn't even use that. Jürgen knows how to express himself. That's why I like Jürgen. It isn't scripted. It's from the heart.
Mm.
He says what he thinks.
Yeah.
You know, okay, you're always limited to certain confidentiality, as we all, you know, that comes with your job. I work in a job where I have to be confidential. I have to use confidentiality. Of course you do. There's a difference, but he does give his opinion as well. There is still a way of giving your opinion without breaking confidentiality. And I like that about him, and that makes him very strong opinionated, and he stands his ground. And it sort of has been a little bit easier because it's took the shine off us because of the pressure and the shine with England. So you know, swings around in roundabouts, as we say in Liverpool. Swings around in roundabouts.
Yeah. I just personally feel that the media can't put more pressure on Klopp than what he puts on himself.
Yeah.
But he takes that pressure off his team, and that's one of his superpowers, to allow the boys to go and play. And when they win, he gives them the credit. And when they lose, he takes responsibility. And that's a great trait for a manager to have. You have other managers who like to throw their players under the bus, and complain about this player and this spirit and this, that, and the other players not doing what they want. But he's not that guy, you know, and the players know that he's going out there and fronting up for them. And that, for me, makes them want to play a little bit harder for him. So does he have credit in the bank? I think for a manager that's come in and delivered something that we've been after for 30 years, yes, he does. The results speak for themselves. What he's achieved in the time that he's been here, he said he would, and he delivered. So for me, that does give him credit in the bank. Does he have an easy ride?
He thrives on pressure. Some people thrive on pressure. He does.
Yeah. Has he had an easy ride with the media? I don't think he has.
No.
Has it been down to injuries? Yes, 100%. I believe it has been. The next comment from Bossman James again. The Gooners don't want this. I'm sure they don't. I'm sure if they had a choice, we wouldn't be the people that they were playing. Arteta is bricking it as we speak. Screenshot me say. Right, he probably is. Breezy, thanks for logging in, mate. Saka won't play, and I think he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah,
he is.
Looks like.
Yeah, he was one of the gentlemen that was supposed to join us, but
That's
I know
right.
Yes, that's
I
right.
think it was past the Arsenal fans' bedtimes. So I'm kidding, guys. But Bob Spurs TV, Arsenal could potentially have all their eggs in the Europa League basket. So don't be surprised if they play a weaker side in the remaining league fixtures. That's a factor. That is a factor.
But also in saying that as well, and that's a really good comment as well. Thank you on Bob Spurs TV. Bearing in mind, okay, so we've got this fixture, all right. The result over Saturday is just as important for Arsenal as it is for Liverpool. All right. So we've got our fixture against Real Madrid on the 6th, and they're playing Slavia Prague on the 8th. So let's not be fooled here or kidding around thinking that they're going to play a weakened team when they got all of those extra days to actually rest before they've got the European fixture after us. I am not falling for that one, not one bit. They're gonna want to win this game. It's as simple as that. I'm definitely not falling for that one.
Yeah,
not one bit.
I do believe that the loser of this game can forget top 4. It's as simple as that, or forget that's the end of their league season, basically, in regards to any major sort of achievement. For us, it's a loss anyway because we're losing our title. So we've already taken a blow in that regards. But to make that top 4 is really important.
Yeah.
And if we lose, I see that as that dream's over, which we won't. And I think the same for Arsenal. Forget it. They just need to focus on finishing above Tottenham after that. I think that's it, basically. And I don't mean that with banter. I mean that with love. That's just facts. David Luiz won't play, Breezy says.
Okay.
Bossman James, Arsenal back 4. Thierry Henry is worth speaking about. He's a danger.
Tierney. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
Tierney. Sorry, I thought that looked like Thierry. I was like, huh?
Yeah, Bossman James, right. I think Tierney's been an exceptional signing for Arsenal. He is a solid left back, and I don't think anybody can actually question that. I think it's good when you see, and I'm being realistic here. I always want to see the best players, A, playing in the Premiership, and B, always playing for Liverpool. But I'm realistic and also saying there's only a certain amount of players we can have in a squad, and there's only a certain amount of players we can field at any given time. So if players still come to the Premiership, it's good to obviously see them play. So for Tierney, it's good that he's made that transition from playing in Scotland with Celtic and coming down to Arsenal, and he hasn't dipped. So yeah, credit. He's definitely going to be good. Is he going to get any change from the game against Liverpool? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the answer is going to be no. He's not going to get any change.
He's coming up against Salah.
Yeah, he may be Arsenal's best player, which is fine, but he ain't getting no change from Liverpool over the weekend.
I don't believe so. I think, listen, he's going to have to earn his dinner, basically. Yeah. He's going to be tested. He's going to be tested, and let's see what he comes out with. Bossman James again, VVD and Gomez period have been our real issue, real talk Stitch. Right, I'll come back to the comments, but I think where we're talking about danger men for Arsenal. I agree with Pato about the 4-2-3-1. I don't think they're going to be more expansive than that. I think they're going to try and win the midfield by packing it out. I think, for me, danger man is Odegaard. If he performs anywhere near what he did in that last game against West Ham, I took notice of him in that game because he grasped it by the throat and really went for it, showed his quality. I think Fabinho's going to have to just stamp him out of the game. Otherwise, he could be worries in the dance. Other than that, I think it's about Partey and him controlling that midfield. I think that, the midfield battle is going to be very important. If we win the midfield, we win the match. That's how I see it. Because I don't think the defense is going to be able to resist us. It's about how high we can play. Can we control the ball? Can we make the spaces smaller? Can we counter press effectively and get those turnovers high in Arsenal territory? And if we can do that, we're going to cause them serious problems. Yeah. Oh yes,
and also Odegaard's coming off for a good. Didn't they won 1-0, didn't they, Norway? And he was the captain as well over their last international game as well. So he's coming off, and he's obviously progressing at an international level really good. So yeah, Odegaard's going to be all right.
Yeah. So we got Mr. B making a comment. Thank you for your comment, Mr. B. Excuses. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
What excuses are those, Mr. B? If you don't mind, we welcome all comments.
It's the injuries. That's what he wants to talk about.
Is that it? Mr. B, if you're listening, jump back on and elaborate on those excuses for us, please, my friend.
Because I'm sure the next comment is going to be have the players burnt out, because we get that regularly, don't we? So Klopp is honest in his assessment on team displays. I agree, boss man. He really is. Mourinho, say his name. Klopp has more than delivered. He might get shellings. Yeah. Gabriel's a beast, says Breezy. Yep, but he's going to have his work cut out, I think, with a hungry Liverpool forward line. And yes, someone with a name that I'm not even going to bother with. Liverpool going to bust up these Gunners. We really have some creative fans logging into the show. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So we talked about the danger men. Guys, comes to that point, predictions. I've already laid out my stall. It's going to be a minimum.
What did you say again?
I said 2-0 or 3-1.
2-0 or 3-1?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
To us, by the way, just to clarify, in case anyone doubted.
See, hands down, I say it every week, my predictions are poor. Every single prediction I give, it just always goes left field. So, Pato, if you wouldn't mind, you could make a prediction and I'll mention what I think afterwards.
Okay. I'm going to say 4-1 to Liverpool.
4-1 to Liverpool. Wow, it's big. That's big. I would be delighted. That would make my Easter weekend if that's the case.
I had a dream.
Oh. We have to believe in those dreams. You have to believe.
I think it's going to be 3-2 to Liverpool.
Wow, we're going to concede 2, yeah?
Yeah, I do. I just, I'm not questioning the way in which we defend as a unit. So when I mean by that, I just mean that you know the way we all defend, not just down to our defense and our goalies, but it's just this fixture. I've just looked at so many of these fixtures over the last year, 2, 3 years, and it's just goals. It always rains goals.
Exactly,
So
but I'm seeing a hat trick. I can see a hat trick.
3-2, 3-2, 3-2 to Liverpool. I just see it.
So Bossman James predicts a 3-0 Liverpool win.
Okay.
And then someone with another name that I'm not going to bother with predicts 3-1. I think we've got some trolls. Bossman James is laughing at Pato's comments. 4-1. I had a dream. I'm dead. Marnane.
Mane don't want holding. Please, Breezy Page, please screenshot this. Screenshot what you just said about Mane don't want holding. Please screenshot that. And then when we have our post show, jump back on. I think you're going to be a little bit disheartened by that comment. Mane's going to want every bit of holding.
Right. Holding's going to hold a beating. That's what's going to happen. 4-1, Pato, he thinks you're smoking something. He thinks it should be at 4-1. Mr. B. Breezy predicts a 2-1 to Arsenal. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, someone with another name.
Pato doesn't live far from where they train. Pato can see everything.
Right.
I've watched them, they've been on fire. I'm only good at my predictions.
Yeah, no, you are.
You know,
I think that based on the comments, I think we've got to the end of this show, to be honest. I don't think we can carry on. Seeing some of these names popping up, it's time for me to sign off.
That's funny. That's
guys,
too funny.
It's an absolute pleasure to be back on this with you guys. It's been way too long. And, you know, let's hope that our predictions come true. And LFC, the real LFC, steps up tomorrow evening. It being an early Easter present. I don't want no Easter eggs. Just give me a Liverpool win. Yeah. On that note, I've been Stitches. Pato, have you got anything to say to the people before we sign off?
I'd just like to say I'm going to be wearing my lucky jacket. And if you look at the game, was it last year? No, hang on, I'll check. I have to double check. But if you watch the Arsenal Liverpool game at Anfield, and we won 3-1. Last time we won 3-1 at Anfield. A bit towards when it was 2-1, you'll see me on the telly in my lucky jacket. And there was all people saying that it was going to be 2-2. And I said, it's not going to be 2-2. We're going to win 3-1. We're going to score. And we did. So I'm going to wear that jacket tomorrow.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It is Arsenal colours, but it's the Arsenal away yellow colour. But I'm going to wear that tomorrow while I watch the match. Okay?
Love it.
And
Love it.
we are going to win. We are going to win. Definitely
Excellent.
going to win.
Perfect.
Stoney, you got to say to the people.
I just want to say to the people, thank you once again for everybody tuning in. I know that there'll be a lot of people who probably haven't had the opportunity to tune in live. So don't remember, you can go back and watch the recording on YouTube. This goes out to everybody playing for Almanorian's reserve team, especially all of the Arsenal supporters. If you haven't tuned in and you're watching this on the rerun, just remember I said Liverpool are going to be victorious. Okay, so that's all I want to say.
That's it. Tell him again, Stoney.
We're going to win. We're going to win.
Yeah.
Going to win. Going to win.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. You guys be safe. Enjoy the game.
Review show.
All right.
And you'll
Perfect.
never walk alone.
Definitely.